What is going on, Colts Nation? He is Jamal, and I'm Eric, your co-host of the Colts Cast.
Yo.
It's mock draft season. Let's get it. 3-round mock draft coming right at you to start February off, early February. What are the top positions of need for the Indianapolis Colts? What do we think, Jamal? Tight end, safety, cornerback, the edge rusher?
Yeah, some of those lines. I think it varies by person to person. I think a lot of people want tight end to be our top priority, but I do think
Exactly.
cornerback or safety probably is in my humble opinion, our biggest priority right now.
I think there's multiple ways the Colts could attack this draft. Kind of like last year, and we decided to take Latu in the first round. Shocker. And, Ballard could do the same thing again. He might fuck around and
go pick a running back.
Yeah.
He got the best running back in the draft.
Yeah, and then they can have a three-headed monster attack. But let's try to put on our 3D glasses on and project who will be available at our turn. Maybe take the best player available. Jamal, you ready?
Let's get to it. Before we jump into it, though, y'all hit that like, subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Let us know who you want in the first, second, third round, whether it's interchangeable for you, how you feel about what we say, and give us your takes. Let's hear it. Let's talk about it.
No trades today. We're going to assume Chris Ballard is not going to trade, but we all know that's not going to happen. But for this mock draft, we're going to assume. Jamal, who is our first player that we're taking at the number 14th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft?
First player we're going to take in the number 14th pick is going to be that name that everybody wants to hear. Everybody's been excited to hear about. Everybody saw this guy play and doing his thing. We saw him do it at Penn State game over game. So it's going to be Tyler Warren taking out the tight end spot.
Got to be happy about it, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be happy about that. And obviously, you guys probably seen we've definitely done an episode on Tyler Warren talking about, how he benefit us. So definitely check that out as well. But I'll make sure I post that here up in the top of the screen for us too. But Tyler Warren, obviously, like we said, we have a tight end room that has 80,000 people in it. Go ahead and start trimming the fat off in that room. Get you an explosive, dynamic playmaker on the offensive side of the ball who can be effective across the middle of the field, downfield, who can be in the backfield, kind of do whatever. He's like a Swiss Army knife for us in that offensive side of the ball, which would be a great role for what we need here.
Yeah, this seems like a no-brainer to me. You don't have a bona fide stud at tight end. Kylan Granson and Mo Alley Cox are free agents this year. Mm-hmm. It makes too much sense. So, we're not going to do it, but in this mock draft, we're going to do it. This will automatically upgrade the offense. And I'm saying that because Chris Ballard ain't going to do it. That's if Tyler Warren is available, I think you have no regrets taking him at 14. Mm-hmm. You're going to get no pushback from it. Chris Ballard, I think he has to secure his future with Anthony Richardson. And to do that, you have to provide him help. Mm-hmm. And another weapon like that's a win. Warren checks all of Ballard's physical, checklist items, meant size, athleticism, physicality, generate yards after the catch. That, like you said, Jamal, we already did an episode on him. So this is a lock. Give me the guy who you can trust as that 3-down tight end, who was essentially the wide receiver 1 for Penn State. And he's just going to take this offense to the next level. So Tyler Warren, lock it in.
Lock it in. Who we taking for round 2?
You know who we taking for round 2. Our boy, Nick Emmanwori. We have to put a South Carolina player in there.
Have to. What's crazy too? Before we give the breakdown, I'm telling y'all right now, if we draft him, Eric and I will go to disgusting lengths to get him on the pod, because not only did we all go to the same high school, then we went to the same college. And then, of course, he'd be coming to our squad. We would have to.
That's a dub.
He would have to come onto the pod and talk to us.
He would have to. Yeah. I would be shocked if the Colts retain Julian Blackmon. So, he's a solid player and all, but he hasn't been exceptional. He's had some injury issues. This is where you enter Nick Emmanwori, the replacement. He's built like a linebacker. Mm-hmm. How big is he? He's like 6'3", 220.
6'3", 6'4". Yeah, he's massive.
Yeah. Massive guy, but he's agile enough to really protect that secondary. High IQ football player. I think Lou Anarumo will welcome this guy. He has that high ceiling. Played mostly strong safety with the Gamecocks. We already got Nick Cross back there. Mm-hmm. Could move him to free safety. He may not even start year one. I mean, we would like him to, for a second round pick to be able to really just insert you in. But we'll see what happens. I know Anarumo likes to play with a variety of sets on defense, likes to disguise his defense to keep the offense on their toes. Nonetheless, I think Emmanwori is just a great add in the second round if he lasts until there. And this group, the safety group, doesn't have much depth, so I think it's a really solid add.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, strictly for just the fact of the depth portion right there. We know depth is always an issue for us because we have injuries that happen every year. It's inevitable. But having someone like him who can come on the field and just be like a legit, just force from the beginning, it'll be great. I mean, as you talked about earlier, he could play that linebacker. He was actually recruited to play linebacker, so they bumped him out to safety because of some injuries and stuff that went on. So he has the ability to scan the field, know what's going on, ball hawk, not afraid to run downhill and hit somebody like a linebacker would. So just having all those characteristics, but they can take that, drop it back to the, a couple yards off the ball and really take on any receiver who they put in front of him that or in his general area will be phenomenal to have. So, I mean, if Nick's on the board, you have to take him.
Yeah. And I don't know. He varies on mock drafts and just player boards of how high he is. I've seen him as high as like the late first round. I've seen him as low as a third round pick.
Third round, yep.
I think the combine will do him wonders. So it'll be interesting to see how he slides up them boards from now until April.
Yeah, especially if he can if he really does have that 4.38 speed or whatever. I mean, that's gonna blow the top off somebody. So that's gonna instantly tick him up.
Give me the next Kyle Hamilton.
For real.
Yeah.
I will take it. Last up, round 3.
Who's entering? Who's entering?
It's going to be Deone Walker. Defensive tackle out of Kentucky. Big dude.
Massive.
Big dude. What, like 6'6", 340?
Yeah, that's kind of the theme of this mock draft. We're drafting massive guys that are really just tantalizing just with the eyeball. Like you see this guy and you're like, all right, that's a check mark for me. Kentucky star defensive tackle. Jamal, I'm massive. Like that is
no
like
other way to describe
it. I mean, but not only is he massive, he's an impressive athlete for his size. I mean, the way he's able to accelerate, move off the line of scrimmage, he just has that natural power at that height. So he strikes very well. This is somebody that, like, for an interior pass rusher, we'd love to have. I know, let's be honest. Grover Stewart, 31 years old.
Yeah, age.
Forrest Buckner, 30.
Age.
And they're still great, but we always want to have a plan B. And it doesn't hurt to add another nose tackle or 3 tech wherever we want to line him up, because he's played in a lot of places. It does not hurt to add someone who's really good to that defensive line group, because that's one of the biggest groups we hold on the 53-man roster, right? I mean, we hold up to 10, 11 people on there. Why not add Deone Walker, who got it done in the SEC? Yeah, I mean, like he's already battle tested for these NFL guys. Like, give me the guy that he just has an insane amount of pure mass. Upside is huge. I don't know how early he'll get taken, but if he's there in the third round, this is an absolute steal. And this is someone we got to take. I think, Jamal, we've had some mock drafts over the past few years where that third or fourth round, we've been projecting.
Yeah.
We've been
spot
hitting.
On.
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs, it's the biggest one.
We had Borderlini in one. I mean, like,
we had Blake Freeland in one. Like, I mean, yeah.
But Blake Freeland, yikes.
I know. I'm just saying he was there. But yeah.
Give me the guy that's gonna, succeed Buckner or Stewart in the case, a few years down the line. Developmental guy, probably, because you want to maximize his power. I know he's not great in the run game yet, but this is something like things we can coach on. So that's who I'm looking for.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything you just said. And I know you gave all the positives, so I just want to highlight a couple of negatives that you were kind of just mentioning. Like, one thing that just scared me is his bull rushing ability is not right. It's not all the way there. He's not really good at, for someone as big and like massive as he is, of just taking on a one-on-one bull rush. He kind of relies on that swim or that spin. So but that's something that can be fixed. That's something that can be, that can be fixed at the next level. And of course, he does stand up a lot, but he's 6'6". I mean, when I say stand up a lot, I mean versus an average lineman, I won't say an average, but a lineman who's 6'3", 6'4". Obviously, an offensive lineman is taught that you have to be so much lower. But when you're someone like him who is that big on the defensive side of the ball and can spin, you kind of want to see where the ball is going. So I give him grace with that. I definitely give him grace. And kind of as you mentioned, first of all, both of those things can be fixed. But more importantly than that, why not get him in the room now while we still have Grove and Buck who can teach him so much. So much. Like you say, he doesn't have to be a day one star. He's not coming to take their spots from day one. Let him in the building. He can learn under these guys, kind of get a feel of how the game works, because you're talking about two dudes who have been doing it for years and years and years now, have been great at that dynamic duo tag team. So get him in the building, show him how it's done, and elevate this defensive line.
Yeah, I think based off just upside alone, you
you
got to take a chance on him. This guy looks like the next Dexter Lawrence. So give me the guy that just has that raw physical talent. I know that's been the theme of this episode, but if we get one or two to pan out, and then you're looking at one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. So again, like, not a finished product, but something that can be developed.
Absolutely. I mean, like you mentioned, all three of these guys we talked about today, all battle tested. Two from the SEC, one played a national championship game. I mean, these guys have been in the mud. They've played against some of the hardest dogs out there. So, I mean, they got some skin.
Yeah, man, that's all I got, man. That's the 3-round mock.
Oh yeah.
So we're taking Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State, Nick Emmanwori, safety, South Carolina, Deone Walker, interior defensive lineman, Kentucky. So that is our first 3-round mock of 2025. We got more coming at you, but we need more information available to make some better picks. I know someone's going to say this. We didn't take a cornerback in the first 3 rounds. We believe in this mock draft, we are going to hit that in free agency.
Absolutely.
Someone like a Jabari Ward or something. Yeah, just for this mock draft, we are going to target corner and free agency, because Chris Ballard's got to go all out, right?
All out. Also, and I just realized I said that Tyler Warren was in the national championship. Obviously, he did not go. Notre Dame beat them. So don't want y'all coming from me in them comments about that.
I did hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's going to be it for everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content.
Take it easy.
Later.